All right. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Said Masaakum Jami'an. Welcome to the third workshop in our series at the Writing Center. Today's workshop is going to be about writing well-organized paragraph presented by Mr. Ridwan Levi. But first, I would like to thank Ms. Maha Sweda for preparing the materials for this workshop. But unfortunately, she couldn't make it today. So Mr. Ridwan Levi, thank you for taking the lead for presenting this workshop. So the mic is yours.
All right, thank you, Dr. Basim, for the introduction. And once again, thank you for Ms. Mahav Suwaida for the preparation. Unfortunately, due to unforeseen circumstances, she couldn't join us today. Okay, can everybody see the screen and can everybody hear me clearly? Okay, good. Right, so tonight's workshop, we are looking at the writing of well-organized paragraphs. And it's always an issue for people who are writing something. What are they going to write? How do we start a paragraph? And the same thing with an essay. So when we look at an overall essay, we look at an introduction, a main body, and a concluding paragraph. In this workshop, we are solely focusing on a paragraph. So the first thing that we need to look at is what are we going to look at in today's workshop? We will look at what a paragraph is and what are the components of a paragraph, how a paragraph is linked together, and what are the process of writing a paragraph. And of course, we always like to know what common errors there are when we do any kind of writing, right? So most of us are afraid when we do writing about the errors. So we are going to do our best to see how we can overcome those errors. Okay, so the first thing first, let's jump into it. When we're talking about a paragraph, we talk about one main idea. So when we talk about one main idea, it's the main idea is the topic of the paragraph. And that means that the paragraph would include specific details, examples about the main idea, and a concluding sentence about that paragraph. So if we are thinking of anything, any kind of topic, when we talk about a vacation, a person, or an event, we will start off our main idea with the topic of that sentence. And then we give examples about the main idea, and then we conclude that paragraph with the concluding sentence. Let's see how it's done. Okay, before we go further, whether we write an academic paragraph or a non-academic paragraph. So there are two types of writing, academic writing versus non-academic writing. Formal academic writing is formal, it is impersonal, it's intended for scholarly audience, and formal and objective in tone. For example, research papers, formal essays, and reports. Non-academic writing would be informal, personal, it's intended for the mass public, and it's personal and subjective in nature. For example, personal letters, posts on social media, and magazine articles. So whether we write academic writing or non-academic writing, our paragraphs has to be structured in a good way, right? So for those people that's doing research papers and writing formal essays, it's important for us to structure our paragraphs in a proper manner. And of course, when we do personal letters and magazine articles, social media, we don't really care because on social media, people write whatever they want. But the meticulous writer would be careful how he structures his sentences. Isn't that correct? Is it clear so far? Okay, is everybody's audio working fine? Okay, good. So let's look at what is a paragraph. It is a group of sentences that deals with a single topic. For example, my dream home is a beautiful house in a nice neighborhood. The house has a living room, a kitchen, two bathrooms, and three bedrooms. Moreover, all the rooms are very big and bright. The rooms have modern and comfortable furniture. I hope my dream comes true. So here is a group of sentences that deals with a single topic, that single topic being my dream home. Okay, now, my dream home is a beautiful house. How do we break this apart? Let's look at the structure of this paragraph, of this one paragraph. There is a topic sentence. The topic sentence is my dream home is a beautiful house in a nice neighborhood. Then we have three pieces of information, which is three sentences. Information one, the house has a living room, a kitchen, two bathrooms, and three bedrooms. Moreover, the second one, all the rooms are very big and bright. And number three, the rooms have modern and comfortable furniture. If we want to write one supporting sentence or two or five supporting sentences, it is fine. And then we conclude it with the last sentence, I hope my dream comes true. So it consists of our topic sentence with the information in between, description, examples, and so on. And then we conclude it with the concluding sentence. So let's look at how a paragraph is linked together. Okay, so the linking of the paragraph, usually we use something called conjunctions. So conjunctions are words and phrases which join part of a sentence together or link a sentence from one sentence to the next one. For example, and, so, because, however, such as, and then. The types of conjunctions that we have are addition. We can actually use the word in addition to, or as a result. Type of conjunctions are result, reason, opposition, a difference of opinion, and a consequence, contrast, and comparison. So if we have a simple sentence like, my best vacation ever was in New York, right? So if I want to join two phrases, we're talking about a vacation, or we add on a word to link those two clauses in a sentence, okay? What we're doing is we're transitioning the sentence, the idea from one idea to the next idea. We'll come back to transitions again, because conjunctions are words that joins two clauses in a sentence. Transitions are words or phrases that link one paragraph to the next paragraph. But we can use those transitional words or phrases in a paragraph as well. Let's look at the examples. So we have a consequence, a conjunction of consequence. The first example is John told his boss he cannot do the job. As a result, he was dismissed 2 weeks later. So there's your consequence. And then a conjunction of contrast. The seafood restaurant is the best in Jeddah. However, it is very expensive. Contrasting. And then generalization and contrast. Give a general idea overall. Generally, businessmen are honest. However, the job also attracts many dishonest people. So generalization and contrast there. Okay, and the last example is, it was very hot outside. Despite that, we decided to go for a walk. Comparison. So different types of conjunctions can be used, such as consequence, contrast, generalization, and comparison. Everybody clear on that? Are there any questions about that? All right, so the process of writing a paragraph is planning, drafting, then editing, and then writing it. So the planning is basically your words that you put down on a piece of paper, like a mind map or a spider web. There are different ways that we can do it. So I can put in just keywords, loose words, right? Vacation, beautiful, seaside, resort. And then what I do after that is I make sentences from these words. So that's my drafting part. And then when I make these sentences, of course, I will use adjectives to describe my nouns, adverbs to describe my verbs, and I will use conjunctions for my sentences to link my sentences together in one paragraph. And then comes the editing part, which means I will now edit and see which belongs where. And then finally, I write my final draft. When I have my final draft, I relook at it and then see if everything is in order. Okay, so a good simple paragraph, what does it look like? It has a topic sentence, several supporting sentences, and a concluding sentence. So if we want to think about any kind of topic, we will go right out and start with that topic. Does anyone have anything, any topic that they can think of, any topic that you can think of that you want to write about? If, for example, we want to write about something, any piece of writing, can anyone give me one topic, any one word topic that you want to write about? I hope you can all hear me clearly. Happiness, COVID, very hot topic today, COVID. And of course, e-learning, online studying, there are many. There are so many that we can choose from. If we choose happiness, would we start our sentence with happiness? It sounds like a good idea. So happiness is important for everybody. I'm just using random examples here. And then we have COVID. How would you open up a topic sentence with COVID-19? Does anybody have any suggestions? Noor said traveling. Yeah, COVID-19 has changed our lives. If we start off with something like that, COVID-19 has changed our lives, we can add on so much. We can add on lots and lots of information. But if we focus on one paragraph, we will go for the next sentence. COVID-19 is a pandemic. COVID-19 has changed our life. And then we'll start with it has or it is, and so on, right? There we go. So you've got the idea of opening up a topic sentence. Now, what about supporting sentences? And then finally, the concluding sentence. Let's look at the example. In the paragraph below, the main idea is Ahmed is a kind person. That is the main idea, right? So we want to write about Ahmed, that is a kind person. We can write anything. We can say a kind person, a bad person, a busy person. We can use any adjective that we want to there. And it depends on what we say. So look at the topic, Ahmed is a kind person. My friend Ahmed is a very kind person. He likes helping people. As a result, he visits sick people in hospital and spends time helping young children at school. He also brings food to his elderly neighbor, and sometimes he is very tired. Despite that, he takes another neighbor to the hospital because that person is in a wheelchair. Therefore, Ahmed is the kindest person I know. So my opening topic sentence would be, my friend Ahmed is a very kind person. And my concluding sentence would be, therefore, Ahmed is the kindest person I know. Because I'm saying that Ahmed is a kind person, I need to give reasons. I need to give examples. So I cannot just say, my friend Ahmed is a very kind person. He is the kindest person I know. In between there, we can write 3, 4, 5 sentences supporting details about why we say Ahmed is a kind person, and that goes for any kind of topic. So if we write about COVID-19, COVID-19 is a huge pandemic in 2020. And then I can go on, it changed the lives of people. As a result, nobody could travel and a lot of people died in hospitals, okay? It also brought us closer to technology. Yeah, I think it brought us closer to technology. And despite that, we still persevere and we are still doing the best job that we can. Therefore, COVID-19 changed our lives. Okay, you got that? So the topic sentence is often, it's not always, but often the first sentence in the paragraph. We're just looking at the first sentence now, the topic sentence. It's the first sentence in the paragraph, or it's the opening sentence that we use. The topic sentence tells the reader what the main idea of the paragraph is. For example, Ahmed is a kind person, or my dream home, right? Then the supporting sentences, or 1 or 2 or 3 sentences. The supporting sentence gives us explanation, examples, information, and even opinion if we want to. So therefore, supporting sentences should help the reader to understand the topic and the focus of the sentence. It gives us examples of, we can say something is good or something is bad, or we can talk about e-learning, or we can talk about the internet in general, or we can talk about social media, or health in the world, or the healthcare system across the world. And then we need supporting details in between. So explanations about what it is, examples, information, or opinion. Does anyone want to give an example of a supporting sentence? Yes, Fatima said we can add more complete ideas. Ms. Serene, you have a question there. Can a paragraph be too long? Is there an ideal length? The ideal length of a paragraph would be between 5 to 7 sentences, or maybe 10 sentences. It depends. If you are doing writing, non-academic writing, you're writing an essay for the university or for an exam or test in school, your ideal paragraph would be about between 5 to 7 sentences long. Some paragraphs require much more sentences, especially in academic writing, research reports, research proposals, and reports. And sometimes we just have to include certain things. So then your paragraph would vary. Ms. Serenis, does that answer your question? Okay, good. Mr. Kamal, for example, we spend most of our time at home. We stopped going to workplaces. I don't know, for some people, if it's a good thing. For some people, that is a good thing. For me, it was, I don't like, I like being at home, but it gets tedious. I can't wait to get out of here and just get myself in front of a class and start working, you know, being amongst people. Yeah, so your example there, Mr. Kamal, we spend most of our time at home. We stop doing. That's very good. There's very nice supporting sentences. Hello, what's that sound? Okay, that's definitely not me. Okay, I don't know. Everybody seems to be muted. Maybe somebody's speaker was on accidentally. But anyway, moving along. Okay, welcome, Ms. Noura. Ms. Layal, yeah? You didn't miss a lot. You can go to the recording. We just introduced paragraphs and the main structure of it. We looked at topic sentence, supporting details, and a concluding sentence. So now at the moment, we are looking at a supporting sentence, which gives us explanation, examples, information, and opinion. Okay, so the concluding sentence, what does it look like? It is usually the last sentence in that paragraph. It is often similar to the topic sentence, and it reminds the reader of the topic and focus of the paragraph. So the last sentence in the paragraph, if we have something like a topic, COVID-19, COVID-19 changed everything in 2020, but COVID-19 is a major pandemic. Then we give examples across the world, what happened, traveling bans, testing, isolation, quarantines. We can write many sentences in between. And then just to reiterate again, we come back to the last sentence in that paragraph, and we will say, therefore, or I can use any transitional phrase if I want to, right? Therefore, COVID-19 had a huge impact on the entire world. Okay. Right, so in example one, our concluding sentence, my dream home, and example two we looked at a paragraph, my dream home, and we looked at the paragraph, my friend Ahmed. So it concludes the paragraph about the writer's dream home in example one. I hope my dream comes true. That's the concluding sentence, and that concludes the paragraph. In example two, my friend Ahmed, it concludes the paragraph about his friend Ahmed. So therefore, Ahmed is the kindest person I know. Okay, any questions so far about your concluding sentence? Okay, I didn't see your question, Ms. Fatima, I'm sorry. You had a question? I'm sorry I missed it. What was your question? Okay, somebody said I must answer the question. Oh, can we add more? Yes, we can add more ideas. But of course, the ideas has to be linked to the topic sentence. It's got to be the same idea, right? So we can add as many as we like, but in one paragraph, yeah. Of course, your paragraph, you don't want to use too many. You don't want to use, for example, in a paragraph talking about a vacation or talking about a pandemic, we don't want to add 20 more sentences. Like 4 or 5 sentences is enough. Okay, because we don't want to have a repetition of the same thing in using different words. But yeah, you can add more ideas in the same paragraph, in one paragraph. Does that answer your question, Ms. Fatima? Oh yeah, Patan, you asked if I should give an example sentence in every paragraph. It is a good idea to give an example sentence, but if your topic overall covers a wide topic and you are going to write an essay of 5 or 4 or 5 paragraphs, in every paragraph, you don't have to give the same example. You can give an example of what you are talking about in that particular paragraph. Is that okay for you? Is that clear? Okay, good. So There we have the concluding sentence in example 1, my dream home. In example 2, my friend Ahmed. There's another question. Is it better to make it in a way that connects to the next paragraph? Yes, it is actually. It's a good idea to make it in a way that connects to the next paragraph, because when we connect to the next paragraph, we will usually use the transition phrases. So transitional words or transition phrases are used to connect one paragraph to the next one. But in our particular single paragraph, I use conjunction. But sometimes I use transitional words, like in this sentence, example number 2, therefore Ahmed is the kindest person I know. I can say Ahmed is the kindest person I know, or I use the word therefore as an example. That's a transitional word, but I can use it as a conjunction there. Yes, Nasser, all the details should be related to the main idea. Okay, good. There's a question there, where can I write my opinion? Mr. Tamer, are you talking about a single paragraph? Mr. Tamer, yeah? Oh yeah, as general, you can have a paragraph on opinion separately. Or if you talk about one particular thing, you can give your opinion before you give your concluding sentences. Or at the end before you write your concluding sentence. And then of course you can write your concluding sentence that it connects with the next paragraph after that. But we're just looking at the paragraph now. Okay. Fatima wanted an example of a concluding sentence, or example of how to connect. Okay. When we look at the actual sample sentence that I have, my friend Ahmed is a very kind person. There's my topic sentence. Now I go on and I give examples, right? He likes helping, as a result, conjunctions, spends time in hospital, visiting sick people in hospital, and spend time helping young children. He also brings food. These are all examples. Despite that, and at the end I give Ahmed is the kindest person I know, which is also a concluding sentence and my opinion as well. Does that answer your question? Okay, so an example of transitional words. Words like therefore, furthermore, nevertheless. Those are transitional words that I can use in my paragraph, like the one I've got here in the example, therefore. The basic conjunction words that I use is so, but, and, for, and so on, right? And then we have transitional words like therefore, furthermore, and so on. I'm sorry about pronouncing your name. I'm not sure how it is. I just read from what I see. Nasser or Nassar? I'm Nasser. Okay, Nassar. I hope that is correct. Forgive me if I mispronounce it. Nassar, yeah. Okay, right. Moving along. So we have our topic sentences, our supporting details, and our concluding sentences. Okay, so what are the things that we are worried about mostly are errors in our writing. And the common errors that we write in a paragraph are usually spelling mistakes, run-on sentences, sentence fragment that misses subject or verb, subject-verb agreement, punctuation such as capitalization or misuse of comma and full stop. And I'm sure those of us who works at colleges, institutions, and we grade papers, we see that mistakes on daily basis. And of course, when we write ourselves, we are afraid of making these mistakes. Spelling mistakes, these are just examples of spelling mistakes, right? How do we overcome that? How do we overcome a spelling mistake? The only thing that I can advise about spelling mistakes is to keep reading all the time, hand-eye coordination, and when you read, read out loud. To keep reading and also look at the spelling of words all the time and keep on reviewing and practicing, like in the chat box, all the examples there. Thank you very much for your input. The other thing that we need to look at when it comes to spelling, when we, can somebody give me a word that you want to spell? Any word, any one word. Any word that you can put in the chat box that you want to spell. I mean, of course, you're going to spell it in the chat box, but let's just take one word from the audience. Give me a word, any word. Receive. Okay, Ms. Arish gives us the word receive. So acquisition. Good. So when we spell the word, what we always do is we know the alphabet in every language, whether it's Arabic or French or English, we have an alphabet to deal with. And the alphabetical sound is what we sometimes ignore. So what we do is we sometimes spell a word and we spell the word highest, receive. We spell with the alphabet letter. We spell R-E-C-E-I-V-E, or often we'll say O-F-T-E-N. Congratulations, very interesting word, very hard to pronounce for non-English speakers sometimes. I like to use that word in examples usually in my classes. Congratulations. If we take that word, we need to spell it. And how do we memorize it? What do we do? Mr. Shahid Ahmed, I like that word strap hanger. I'm not sure what it is, but yeah, strap hanger. So congratulations. When we use the alphabet letter, it makes it harder, isn't it? Because we've got to remember which letter. Is it O, N, A, B, C? So we spell with the alphabet letter. What we can do, what would help us with spelling, would be to use the alphabetical sound, because most languages have phonic sounds. So when we have the phonic sound, we take the, I wanted to write on this board, but I don't know, I'm not familiar with this. But anyway, so the alphabetical sound would be the phonic sound. And in English language, and same in Arabic, and same in any other language, we have sounds. And sometimes we spell a word and we think of the sound, which makes it easier. So if I want to spell congratulations, I'm going to think very hard, C-O-N-G-R-A, and so on. Whereas it's easier for me to put down the phonetic sound, con, con, con. So I know con is C-O-N, gra, gra, G-A-R, congrat, and then tu, T-U, congratu. Lay, lay, and shins, shins. T-R-O-N-S is always shins. It's easy to use the phonetic sound, the phonic sounds of the word for spelling, right? Instead of using the alphabetical letter. So if I want to spell a letter like, I want to spell a word like hesitate. Somebody gave that example in the chat now. Hesitate or hesitates. What do I do? How do I spell it? S. I'm just giving an example here, right? So I will break it up. I will break it up into segments to make it easier to comprehend, and then I can. It doesn't foolproof help my spelling overnight, but it indeed helps my overall spelling over a period of time. right? Imagine you eating a pizza. What are you going to do? One large pizza, are you going to shove the whole thing into your mouth, or are you going to cut it up into pieces? So when you cut it up into pieces, it's more palatable and it's consumable, right? So that is easier for us to chew on. So spelling, just a little tip on spelling mistakes, how to practice the spelling and to overcome it. Any other ideas that anybody might have? Any contributions that you might have about spelling? Nobody got any other ideas about spelling? Just remember the main thing is to listen to the phonic sound instead of looking at the alphabetical letter at A, B, C. Look at ACK and C and D. Yeah, and writing down the word really helps. Thank you for that. Writing down the word over and over, it does help a lot. So copy it from a book or writing the word down, it helps a lot. Okay, any other ideas that you have? The next one is run-on sentences. And this happens quite a lot in many people's writing. I love to write papers. I would write one day, every day, if I had the time. I don't need to, I need to break it up. I love to write papers. Stop and breathe, put a full stop. I would write one every day if I had the time. So there's two sentences. There are many, many examples of run-on sentences that we encounter every day in writing, in scripts that we grade, in many different things. But run-on sentences, please look at your full sentence first and see how it can be divided into two or three different sentences. And this is a common error that people are making all the time. So there's an example of a run-on sentence. And then the next one we have is fragments, a sentence fragment that misses a subject or verb. For example, just put phrases there. Some people write and they forget to put in the subject or the verb in the sentence. Loves to go shopping. When, who, how, why, when, right? My favorite English teacher. What about it? Who is it? You understand that? So loves to go shopping, my favorite English teacher. These are examples of sentence fragments that misses a subject or a verb. Yeah. Just to go back to spelling, I don't think it is possible anymore with technology to make spelling errors, right? Unless we write on a piece of paper in an exam, that's a different story. But when we use Word document, when we use any kind of document on our laptop or on our mobile phone or on our desktop computer, we will have the autocorrect. And sometimes it doesn't autocorrect. There is a little red line under it. Then, if you right click on it, it will give you the correct spelling. Okay, Mr. Shahid, can you please explain it again, the run-on sentences? Okay, let's go back there, the run-on sentences. It's when you write something, for example, on the board, on the screen, you can see, I love to write papers. I would write one every day if I had the time. There are two sentences running into each other. So instead of two sentences, of one sentence, you separate it either with a comma or a full stop, and you make it two, because these are actually two sentences. I love to write papers, full stop. I would write one every day if I had the time. A comma after day if I had the time. So there are two sentences, you can separate it. Another example, does anyone else have an example of a run-on sentence? People like to start off an introduction by saying, my name is Ridwan. My name is Ridwan. I am living in Jeddah, teaching at the university, and I also like swimming and football. Sometimes we make it one sentence that is too long, or two or three sentences that run into each other. Okay, is that clear, Mr. Shahid? Do you get that? Okay, good. Okay, there's another question there. Can I put which after papers to one sentence? I'm not sure I understand what you mean. Can I put which? Are you talking about the word which? I'm not clear on the question. Could you repeat it, please? Oh, the word which. Yes, of course, you can use it as a transition word, if that is what you mean. For example, I traveled to Ophor today, which is near my home. Is that what you were talking about? Okay, another example of run-on sentences would be, okay, what would you like to say if you want to say something, right? You want to talk about something or write about something, Mr. Abdurrahman Al-Moudi, you can talk about, for example, give me a topic that you want to mention or something that you want to talk about. My vacation or my school or anything that you can think of. So when you write a sentence, like the one in the example here, I love to swim. I would swim every day if I had time. I love to play football. I would like to play football every day if I had time. I love to go to the gym. I would go every time, but I don't have the time to go to the gym every day. That's one sentence, but that is a lopsided sentence. So those are two or three sentences run on into each other. Do you understand what I mean? Very good. There's Abdurrahman. My favorite player is Muhammad Noor, a player in Al Ittihad Club. And that's actually a true sentence for me because Muhammad Noor is my favorite player, and Ittihad Club just happens to be my favorite club. Okay, any Ahli fans, please don't hate me. So my favorite player is Muhammad Noor. Full stop. New sentence. He is a player in Al Ittihad Club. Very good. Okay, clear there? You have a question, Amira. What is the right? I'm not clear on that. What is the right? Okay, good. Farmer had a question. Always I have a mistake with OIE, with the vowels when I'm writing. So how can I avoid it? How do you mean you have a mistake with the vowels OIEU? It's about the spelling of the word. Is that what you're talking about? Okay, so when you have vowel sounds, you must remember the rules of E, I, O, U. And it's not the letter A, E, I, O, U. It is actually the sound A, E, I, O, A. So those letters A, E, I, O, U. You must remember it's always preceded by an. Okay, whereas we put a pencil, a book, a student, but we will say an umbrella, an apple, an orange. I hope that's what you meant, eh? But if you're talking about the spelling, that is just something that you need to spell to practice all the time with your spelling words. Yeah, with spelling, some words have a silent E, some words have OU in it, because the English language originally comes from many different sources. The Germanic languages and French is included in there. There are even some Arabic original words in English, like coffin, right? Algebra, those words come from. So sometimes the old English spelling is used with the OU. For example, the Americans like to spell the word favorite like this. Favorite. So if your computer is set on American English, it will show that a spelling mistake. But if your computer is set on a British English, then it will show this one is correct. So which one is correct? Both are correct. So you have two types of spelling, favorite, favorite. American without the U, and British, the original English, with the U. Yes, the same with color and color. Okay, there we go. Favorite is American, yeah? Favorite with the U is British. Okay, so sentence fragments that misses a subject or verb, moving along. Loves to go shopping, my favorite English teacher. I forget to put in a subject, or I forget to put in a verb there. It happens a lot. And then the most common error that people make is the verb, subject verb agreement. We must remember the golden rule, he, she, it, single, noun, plural, verb. Single verb, plural noun, other way around. So he plays football. Ahmed loves to swim, right? Fatima enjoys going shopping. But when we have plural people, they, then we will say they like, they enjoy. And that is the main thing that we should remember, because these are the common errors that we make, subject-verb agreement. Are you all okay with that subject-verb agreement? Yes, we also have organize. Fatima has a question, where can I learn phonemes? Phonics, phonetics, homonyms, and all of those good little English things that we can find. All you have to do is type it into your Google page, and then you will get a lot of results. But be careful not to use anyone that comes to mind. Don't use the first one. Make sure that you use, if it is Cambridge, Oxford, or Collins, right? And you'll get some very nice worksheets as well from worksheets.com, and Grammarly. You get some good ideas from there as well. Okay, good. So sentence fragments and then subject-verb agreement. We make that mistake very often. Subject-verb agreement, he or she play games, he or she plays games. Some people are right when they actually write, they say, I eat pizza every day, instead of I eat pizza every day. So these are the type of common errors that we need to look at and we need to practice all the time. But keep in mind the rule of the subject and the verb. Okay, and then lastly, punctuations, capitalization, the misuse of comma, and the full stop. Okay, there's an example. My dream home is a beautiful house in a nice neighborhood. That house has a living room and a kitchen, 2 bathrooms, and 3 bedrooms. So there's punctuation is missing there. It's also a run-on sentence. It also runs into each other, which it can be divided by full stops. Does anyone want to take the liberty of actually correcting the sentence here at the bottom in the chat box? My dream home with capital letters and so on. Amar, when I use a comma, is when I separate two ideas in the same sentence. So when I separate two ideas in the same sentence, I want to say, Amar, can you hear me? We want to know when you can use a comma, right? So I want to separate two ideas. You will say, Okay, there. It's just a random example that I could think of at the moment, right? So my name is Ammar and I am from Jeddah, comma, Saudi Arabia. I separate the idea. Is it clear about commas, right? Oh yeah, and in listing things. Thank you, Mr. Kamal. In listing things, we ate pizza and burgers. If it's two things, I'll use the conjunction and. We ate pizza and burgers. But if I had more than one, we ate pizza, comma, burgers, comma, pizza, burgers. What else can we eat? Salad and cake. So we put a comma after each one, if it's more than 2 or 3 or 5 or 10. But we are, when it's only two things, we only use the word and. I don't know why I use this example. I think I'm probably hungry. So yeah. So capitalization. Does anyone want to try this? My dream home is a beautiful house in a nice neighborhood. My house has a living room, a kitchen, 2 bathrooms, and 3 bedrooms. We need capital letter, full stop, commas. What can I? Abrar, your question there is when you use so what? Comma, full stop before. My dream home is a beautiful house in a nice neighborhood. Full stop. My beautiful home, my dream house is a beautiful house in a nice neighborhood. Very good. The house has a living room, comma, a kitchen, comma, 2 bathrooms, and three bedrooms, isn't it? Yeah. So there we have the complete one. Thank you, Mr. Rawan. My dream home is a beautiful house in a nice, yeah, I can put a comma there, a beautiful house in a nice neighborhood. It has, and so on, exactly like you wrote it there. Thank you, Mr. Rawan. Layal, the thing, no comma before and, yes, no comma before and. If we want to say, please note this, right? It has a kitchen, comma, it has a kitchen, bathrooms, and 3 bedrooms. Stop. Right? You see that sentence there? It has a kitchen, 2 bathrooms, 3 bedrooms. Now, no comma before the word and, the original British English. I was taught in school since I was a baby that never ever use. I used to get rapped over the knuckles by my English teacher for using a comma before the word and. The American English, they allow it, they say it is fine, you can use it. Okay, so it doesn't matter. But if you are a student in my class, I would actually rap you over the knuckles if you use a comma in front of the word as. Okay. There we go, Leah. Very good. A bed, couch, and a wardrobe. It's correct. Absolutely correct. Okay, so you could decipher this punctuation sentence at the bottom there. Thank you for that. Capital M, and you know how it's done. Okay, so my dream house is a beautiful house in a nice neighborhood. Stop. The house has a living room, comma, a kitchen, comma, 2 bathrooms, and 3 bedrooms. Okay. Which last one do you want to repeat, Fatima? The last sentence. It has a bedroom, bathroom, a kitchen, and a... I'm just using any example that comes to mind here, right? The toilet. Is that clear? Yes, that's correct, Leah. That's correct. Good. Yes, both are correct. Okay, so now we want to write a paragraph. Let's look at a complete paragraph. Write a paragraph about the importance of a well-organized paragraph. I just took it upon myself to use a paragraph as a topic. Seeing that our workshop tonight is about well-organized paragraphs, we are looking at a paragraph, and I thought paragraph would be just also to look at the AWC. So in order to write a good paragraph, students need to understand the 4 important elements of paragraph writing. Firstly, there's my conjunction, right? Firstly, each element contributes to the whole paragraph. In addition, the 4 elements essential or important to a good paragraph, to good paragraph writing are unity, order, coherence, and completeness. It must be a complete sentence. It must agree with each other. There must be proper order, and you must be able to understand when you read it. Moreover, nothing in the writing process is more fundamental, or rather more important, than writing a solid or good paragraph. Therefore, at the AWC, a writing specialist acts as a writing tutor to help students build writing skills by focusing on the fundamentals, right? Is the sentence, this paragraph, clear enough for you? Is it quite clear? We have an opening sentence. We have 1, 2, 3 supporting sentence, and then we have a concluding sentence. Let's analyze, let's break this apart and see how we look at it, right? So the topic is write a paragraph about the importance of a well-organized paragraph. It can be anything. Write a paragraph about your home, write a paragraph about your city. But I just chose this one. Write a paragraph about the importance of a well-organized paragraph. Okay, so the main idea is, in order to write, there's our opening statement. In order to write a good paragraph, students need to understand the 4 important elements of paragraph writing. And then we have 1, 2, 3 supporting details. Firstly, each element contributes to the whole paragraph. In addition, the 4 elements essential to a good paragraph writing are unity, order, coherence, and completeness. And lastly, or I can say moreover, I can say lastly also, it doesn't mean I have to put in a word like this, the transitional word, all the time. If I feel I don't want to, I can say firstly, I can put secondly there, I can say then or also, right? And then the last supporting detail is moreover, nothing in the writing process is more fundamental or more important than writing a solid or a good paragraph. So 3 supporting detailed sentences with extra adjectives and adverbs in it, and some conjunctions and transition words. And to conclude the concluding sentence, therefore, at the AWC, a writing specialist acts as a writing tutor to help students' writing skills by focusing on the fundamentals or on the basics. You see how this thing is taken apart? You see the structure of our paragraph now. Can you see the structure of one paragraph? Main idea, a few supporting details, and a concluding sentence. Okay, is that clear on that? Any questions about that one? Very good. As a as an introductory sentence, you can start, Ms. Arij, with can I start? You can start with to begin with. You can use the word firstly. You can start with to begin with. There are many different ways to open up your topic. That's a very good one also to begin with. Okay. Right, so now we're looking at, let's try it. Let's choose a topic sentence. Let's see which one of these, where am I? Which one of this, A or B or C? A or B or C, which one is the best? There's no right and wrong answer here. It depends on how you look at it and what you think about it. So choose a topic sentence. The topic sentence here in front of the paragraph is missing. Which one would you choose to put in, A, B, or C? Mine is 10 years old and it is always breaking down when I need it. It costs a lot of money for repairs each year. The air conditioner doesn't work anymore, so it is very hot in summer. I really wish I could change it, right? So the topic said, the conclusion is, I really wish I could change it. What would be the topic sentence? My car is very old. I wish I could buy a new car. My car costs a lot of money. And I think everybody probably has this. A, B, B. If you want to write, oh, my car is very old, yeah, it can work. My car is very old. But the next sentence won't work there. My car is very old. Mine is 10 years old. Look at the concluding sentence. I really wish I could change it. If I say I really wish I could change it, what am I talking about? I'm talking about my car, right? So if I want to change my car, what would I want to do? What does it mean? Does it mean it is just very old? Yes, the car is old, and my car does cost a lot of money, so all correct. But the best option there would be B, isn't it? I wish I could buy a new car. So if we look at this paragraph again, starting with B, I wish I could buy a new car. Mine is 10 years old and it's always breaking down when I need it. It costs a lot of money for repairs each year. The air conditioner doesn't work anymore, so it is very hot in summer. And then I reiterate, I restate the main thing. I summarize, I conclude my sentence with, I wish I could buy a new car. What I'm saying is, I wish I could buy a new car. And then I'm giving all the reasons. It's old, it costs a lot of money for repairs, air conditioner. There's my supporting details. And lastly, I conclude my paragraph with, I really wish I could change it. So I start with, I wish I could buy a new car. And then I give the reasons. And then I really wish I could change it. Are you all okay with that? Yes. Very good. Okay, all of you all get that. Thank you very much. That is quite well analyzed there. Okay, so if I want to write a topic sentence, we have 2 topics here, movies and computers. Think of 2 different topic sentences. You don't have to give me 2 topic sentences because there's a lot of people logged into this workshop, we can just give one, anyone, all right? Movies or computers. You don't have to give both. Somebody can give a topic center for movie, and somebody can give a topic sentence for computers. Yes, the opening sentence is usually the topic sentence. Generally, most of the time it is, yeah? So, any opening sentence for movies? Very good, Mariah. Computers are now used everywhere. Ms. Arij, movies can be very entertaining, can be a very entertaining mean. You can just use movies can be very entertaining, it's fine. If you want to say movies can be a very entertaining means of entertainment or means of communication or a means of media. And Mu'taz, yes, movies are manipulating people's minds. Very good. It does, actually. And movies takes us to another world. That is why I like to watch fantasy movies. Takes me to another world. The invention of the computer is one of the greatest advances in modern technology. Beautiful, Nora. Abdurrahman, computers nowadays are very important or are more important than before because you are comparing two things. You are using the word then before. So now and before, so then. Watching movie in the holiday is the best choice. Watching a movie in the holiday or just watching movies in the holiday or in the holidays is the best choice or the best thing to do. Nowadays, computers is very important. That's all nice. So there are many, many different introduction or topic sentences that we can use for any kind of topic. So if we talk about movies, computers, we know what we're going to say. Movies are very entertaining. Computers are highly technical and it's advanced. Vacation, the best vacation I ever had was, something like that. So my best friend, when we start off with something like that, my best friend's name is he or she, and we go on like that. Yes, Yasser, computers is good or computers are good. Yes, computers is as important. Please don't forget to put are when you have a plural. Okay, a plural noun will have are and a single noun will have is. All right. So any questions about that? You all clear on that? Is everything okay so far? Lastly, we're going to have a burger before we go. Sorry about that. And of course, when we have a burger, we have a top bun and we have a bottom bun. So the top bun is our topic sentence and our bottom bun is our concluding sentence. If we don't have one of the two, it is not a full burger, right? Or we have two buns on top of each other with nothing in between, it is just a piece of bread. Then it's not a burger. I'm just comparing this. I think I'm really hungry. That's why I'm using a burger. So, so in between the top bun and the bottom bun, in between the topic sentence and the concluding sentence, we have the supporting details, right? We have the colorful vocabulary. So in a burger, on a burger, you'll have a mustard, ketchup, relish, salad, and of course the meat or the chicken, whatever we like. And then we'll put some trimmings on it. So those are our colorful vocabulary. We use adjectives and nouns to support it and verbs and adverbs. and then we have a full burger. So think of it as a burger, right? The top bun, the bottom bun, and everything in between. Are you all okay with that? Yeah, this is my favorite example. It's, yeah, because a paragraph, the same as an essay or any piece of writing with 4 or 5 paragraphs, are structured in this way all the time. You need a topic sentence or a main introductory paragraph. And then you need everything in between, the details, the examples, the opinions, the what you think and what you think not. And then the bottom bun is your concluding paragraph or your concluding sentence in a paragraph, in one paragraph. Is this picture clear enough? Does it give you a better example of what a paragraph should look like? Yeah, that's quite a spicy example. Okay, that's it. Do we have any more questions?
All right. Thank you, Mr. Ridwan, for this very interactive workshop. We really appreciate this kind of presentation and the information you presented here. So we still have about 15 minutes for questions. I'm gonna share with you now a link for evaluation. Please evaluate this workshop. I know it's wonderful, so please complete the form in order to get the certificate. So if you complete this form and attend 80% of each series, you'll get the certificate for that series. So please, if you have any questions, please write them down here in the chat or raise your hand to ask your question. And don't forget our YouTube channel. Please visit, subscribe, share, and like our videos. Here is the form again, and here is our YouTube channel. And inshallah, after this, we will upload this video or this workshop to our website and to YouTube. So we have here, I guess Tamer has a question. Okay, go ahead, Tamer.
Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Walaikum salam.
Hello everyone. Firstly, I thank all of you to this course and benefit course, and I have just one question. My question is, could we get this presentation before lecture? So sometimes we need to write some notes, some drawing something. So how we can get this presentation before lecture?
Yes, this presentation is available. It's recorded, right, Dr. Basim? There is a link.
Yes, it is recorded, but I guess we will do our best to have the presentation ready before, let's say, a day or 24 hours before. But actually, it's difficult for us because some of our writing specialists are working day and night, and they have different duties. So they try to get it done the same day, but we will do our best once we have everything ready 24 hours before the workshop. Inshallah, I'll send it with the invitation link, with the link for the workshop.
You can upload it and they give us the link. So I think this is more easier than other methodology, if you can.
Inshallah, we'll do our best in this regard.
Inshallah. Thanks.
Thank you, Tamer. So I guess Layal here has a question. I still have a question about comma. So Layal, we will have a special workshop, different workshop for common grammar and punctuation errors. So please, if you haven't signed up in this, please do so. We'll have it inshallah next week or 2 weeks from now, a special workshop for grammar and punctuation errors. So I guess this workshop, I mean the one about grammar, is going to be for you, I guess. So Fatima, go ahead, Fatima. Fatima, can you hear me? Do you have question? Okay. I guess we have a question here from Abdurrahman. Should always the end sentence support the starting sentence?
Should the end sentence support the topic sentence and the concluding sentence, meaning the starting sentence and the end sentence, is always connected to each other. It's always connected. So if you want to talk about my friend is a good person, and then you'll give all the examples, and then you end off, it's connected. You'll just say the same thing using a different word. So you will say, therefore he is good, or that is the reason why this and that is happening. So your topic sentence would be opening with something, right? My best vacation was last year. And then you will have all the examples and everything in between. And then you'll end off, your last sentence would be, so that is why it was my best, or that is the reason why it was my best vacation. Is that clear, Abdurrahman?
Okay, so question now from Shahid. Go ahead, Shahid Ahmed.
Assalamu alaikum, Professor.
Alaikum salam wa rahmatullah.
Professor, can we use this paragraph writing in IELTS exam?
How do you mean choose?
Paragraph writing and this paragraph writing idea,
Yes.
can we use it in our IELTS exam?
In the IELTS exam, it depends what question
Yes.
they're going to ask you in the IELTS exam. So if they're going to give you a paragraph, right, to write
Yes.
in the IELTS exam, it doesn't matter if they give you one paragraph or three or paragraphs. It is a good idea to implement all these things that we have seen in the workshop. Don't forget about your opening topic sentence, your supporting details, and your concluding sentence. So yeah, it would be useful for any kind of exam.
Okay, Professor. And Professor, for how much we can lengthen our supporting information, how much we can increase the length of our supporting information? Can we lengthen our paragraph up to 7 or 8 lines, not sentences?
Yes, you can. But I would recommend to you, I would suggest not to look at lines when you do writing. Look at
Yeah.
sentences. The average sentence is between 7 to 10 words. Sometimes some sentences are about 5 words in one sentence. So on average, overall, whenever we count sentences, words, we'll say one sentence has between 7 to 10 words in a sentence. And if you have, for example, 10 sentences, you might have 100 words, more or less, right? Some sentences will have 12 or 14 words. But don't look at lines. Yeah.
I understand, but sometimes they give us a question that write an essay or paragraph which is composed of 150 words, 200 words, 250 words, like this. So
Yes.
that's why I asked. Yes.
We have actually a workshop for that, planning your essay, how to plan your essay. It's quite simple. If you think about note taking, if you think about just putting ideas on paper, what are you going to do when you want to write 150 words? Right? The instruction says 150 words. So you must think, don't think about the number, just put down as many words as you can. So if you put down 1 word, 2 word, 3 word, 4 word, and you have, before you know it, you have 10 words, or you have 15 or 20 words, only words. And then you take each word and make a sentence from every word, then you can easily have more than 100 or up or more than 150 words in that.
Okay, Professor. Thank you. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Okay, thank you. I don't see any more hands here. Okay, Brother Joseph, I guess Mr. Radwan will do this.
Yes, but Mr. Joseph, I will send you a copy of the workshop presentation. Actually, I sent it. I'll send it again to everybody in the group.
Okay, so Ms. Guest Shahid, do you still have question? Okay, he doesn't have any question. Okay.
No, no, Professor. I don't have any. I don't have any question.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, thank you.
So since you don't have any questions, any more questions? We still have about 8 minutes. Okay, I guess now. Okay, here is, yeah. This is the evaluation form, please. Complete the evaluation form because at the end of the semester, we will issue a certificate of attendance for those who attended 80% of each series. So we'll have 5 series. If you attend each percent and 80% in a series, you will get the certificate for that series. You don't need to attend all workshops, but we grouped all the workshops in 5 different series. Each series will, if you attend each series, you will get a certificate for that series. We have a question here from Yusra. Can we compare 2 ideas in 1 paragraph?
Can we compare 2 ideas in 1 paragraph?
Yes.
Yes, you can. You can. It depends on your entire essay. What are you going to write about? If you have a lot of ideas that you really want to share, you can compare and use that paragraph, that 1 paragraph, as a comparative paragraph. So you can talk about something, and in opposition, we can compare in comparison to something else. It would usually be a good idea to separate it and to use the transitional phrase like the word in comparison or to compare in your next paragraph, which links the 1 paragraph to the other one. But you can use it in 1 paragraph. There should be no problem with that, as long as it is talking about something that connects each other. Does that answer your question? Are you clear about that, Ms. Isra?
Yes.
Oh yeah, thank you, Mr. Kamal. There will be a special workshop about comparison. Mr. Yasir Muhammad Qasim will be that.
Yes. Any more questions? If you don't have any questions, so all right. So thank you, Mr. Ridwan, for this wonderful presentation and workshop. And thank you all for attending our workshop. And we hope to see you, inshallah, in 2 days. And Wednesday, we'll have our next workshop. So I hope to see you, inshallah, on Wednesday. Today's workshop is going to be online shortly, inshallah, or maybe in 24 hours. Thank you all. Thank you, Mr. Ridwan.
Welcome, Dr. Basim, and thank you everybody for attending.
Thank you.